For those that have been watching me for quite some time, you know that I really do rate Edifier's products. They're not only affordable, but also give you good bang for your buck performance. And today we're looking at the compact M60 bookshelf speakers, not only due to their slender profile, making them ideal for certain setups, but they also do offer Bluetooth, auxiliary, and also USB Type-C connectivity for the high-res audio playback. Now, at the time of filming and in the UK, they can be found for £160, while in the US they can be found for $170. In this video, which has been sponsored by the manufacturer, I'll be covering everything you need to know about them so you can make your own informed purchasing decision. So to kick things off, I thought I should talk about the overall build quality, and here the speakers are available in a black and white finish. The dimensions of the speakers themselves will be found on your screen, and this is per speaker. Yes, they are really compact and should fit in most sorts of desktop scenarios. Better still, they've also got a small little included stand. This is metal and has also got little rubber grips, meaning it's not going to damage your desk, and means that the speakers can be propped upwards, making them quite handy, specifically if you have the speakers positioned downwards and you want them to be facing a little bit more towards your head rather than, for example, your chest. Now, there is also a touch-sensitive control at the top of the right-hand speaker. And yes, this has also got a proximity sensor, which is a really nice touch, at least in my opinion. There are also small little LED indicators which show you what source you're using. Red is for USB Type-C, green is for auxiliary, and blue is for Bluetooth. It's all very self-explanatory, and there are no other further controls that you'll have to worry about other than the plus and minus buttons which adjust the volume. Now, at the rear of the speaker, you'll find your connectivity options. And yes, you've got USB Type-C, auxiliary, and also the connection that goes to the power supply and the left speaker. The cables are provided in the box, and you'll be able to see the accessories on your screen right now. And this also includes a USB Type-C to Type-C cable, which I'd highly suggest using if you're going to be using it with any sort of digital device. Of course, if you're using a bit more of a legacy device, you might want to use the auxiliary input instead. Speaking of which, we have to talk about Bluetooth, where version 5.3 is used with the SBC and LDAC codec supported. The former is useful for legacy devices, or of course those who are on iPhone, while the latter is absolutely fantastic if you want higher quality audio playback over Bluetooth. Because for those who are not aware, LDAC is one of the highest audio fidelity Bluetooth codecs around, and therefore means you're not going to get a degraded compressed audio transmission. This will be very handy for those people who have an Android smartphone, because most Android smartphones, those of course that are running 8.0 Oreo or above, will support LDAC natively. Expanding on all of this, I would like to talk about the Edifier Connects app, which is actually really nice to see included on a set of bookshelf speakers. First off, it is worth mentioning that after you initially power on the bookshelf speakers and then connect over Bluetooth, you can change source. As you can see over here, I'm connected over USB Type-C in terms of my source, but I can actually switch it to Bluetooth. At the top, you'll be able to see that the speakers will soon connect, and there's a little audible tune. So yes, here you can see that I've been able to switch between sources all via the app, while the speakers were initially connected over USB Type-C. Really nice touch by the manufacturer. Now, as for the sound effects, this is actually possibly one of the most crucial parts of the app because it allows you to adjust the EQ. Standard configuration will come with music, however you can go for one of the other preset EQs or indeed customize it. Here you can see that you have got a 6-band EQ, and these were my settings. I have boosted the upper mid-range and also the slight bit of the lows. This is of course very subjective, so you can create your own EQ profile if you so wish. Now, as for the volume control, it is pretty self-explanatory, and at the top right-hand side, you can press the cog icon, you can see the user manual, or indeed the HD audio codec. For example, over here, I have selected LDAC and gone for the highest sampling rate for increased audio fidelity. You can then also adjust the intelligent backlight, which is very nice to see. You've also got the prompt tones, which you can enable or disable, and then you can power it off and also go into the Bluetooth settings, for example, if you just want to disconnect it, or indeed perform a full factory reset. Moving swiftly on, let's talk about audio performance, and I should talk about its speaker configuration. And here each side houses a singular 18-watt 3-inch long throw aluminium diaphragm mid-low driver and a single 15-watt 1-inch silk dome tweeter. They combine to output 66 watts of RMS power, and I've got a frequency response from 58 Hz up to 40 kHz. This is also thanks to the fact that there is a built-in Class D amplifier from Texas Instruments, and this gives you a sample rate and bit depth of 24-bit 96, which I was able to notice on my Windows machine. Now with that in mind, let's get onto an audio demo. I'll be placing the camera and microphone in front of the speakers, which are connected over to my Windows 10 machine over USB Type-C input at 24-bit 96, and playing back two songs. One of them is going to be from Priya J, titled Like Me, and the other, which is going to be more of an emphasis in terms of the low-end tones, will be from Miles Kundra, which is titled Polluting.
Everybody else is already dismissed. Find another like me, another like me, another like me.
Now, I appreciate an audio demo over YouTube is not quite ideal, but what I'll say in a nutshell is that the speakers themselves get very loud. Even in a pretty large room, I don't think you'll have any problem whatsoever in terms of fulfilling the overall audio presence. Furthermore, the overall control that you get across the sound frequency range is seriously impressive. First off, you've got those good low-end tones, but of course do bear in mind that they do roll off at 58 Hz, so not going to give you that low-end sub-bass extension like you'd find on systems that have got, let's say, a dedicated subwoofer, and all while saying that, the mid-range does actually come up to the foreground. In my case, as you might have noticed before, I did EQ it slightly when it comes to the app, because then it gave me a little bit more of that forward-sounding mids, therefore meaning that the likes of Priya J's vocals weren't as pushed back. As for the highs, they extend tremendously well thanks to the fact that you have got those dedicated 1-inch tweeters. In terms of the overall instrument separation and width and depth, it's certainly there. It gives you a good, engaging and very much pleasurable listening experience. Now with all that in mind, I'd be curious to know what you make of the speakers down in the comment section below, and if you would pick them over some rival alternatives. Now if you have enjoyed this detailed video, definitely do consider dropping a like, subscribing and hitting that bell notification, all of which would be greatly appreciated. As such, I've been Totally Dubbed, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye.